let's see. I want it to be a little bit bigger. This one is already isolated. Awesome. Set it to the positive and negative. Keep it, right? X is less than 7. And then switch. X is greater than negative 7. I switch the inequality symbols and I use the inverse to make it negative, right? So then graph it. X is less than 7, open circle. X is greater than negative 7. Because the original, is that right? X is greater than negative 7, but less than 7. So it's an and. That means open circle, negative 7 to 7, parenthesis, parenthesis. Right? Isn't that what we said? Because the original was less than, then it was going to be an and. This one's a greater than or equal, so it's going to be an or. So that means you should end up with, or when you graph it, it should have two separate lines, two arrows, not a line segment. An and creates a line segment, one line. So keep it, switch. Graph it. X is greater than or equal to 4. X is less than or equal to negative 4. Bracket. So negative infinity to negative 4. Oh, it includes it. Wait a minute. Don't let me make that mistake. I said bracket, so I wrote bracket. Bracket or bracket 4 to infinity. Alright? Set it to the positive and negative. This looks like it's not isolated, but it is. When it says the absolute value expression has to be isolated, they mean that the bars, they can't have anything after the bars or before the bars or below the bars or anything like that, right? So set it, keep it is the first one. And the second one is switch. Switch the symbol, switch it to negative. Solve. X is greater than 7. X is less than negative 5. Because it started as a greater than, because our keep it was a greater than, right? We should end up with or, like we did here. Alright, so X is greater than 7, open circle. X is less than negative 5. We did end up with an or. So again, we're going to have negative infinity, 5, parenthesis, or parenthesis, 7 to infinity. One more. You ready? Okay. They actually didn't give us one where we have to isolate. I think we should do one just because We'll pick one from the next page just so you can see what it looks like to isolate first. Alright, so x plus 2 less than or equal to 7, that's our keep it. X plus 2 greater than or equal to negative 7, that's our switch. Solve. Because it started as a less than, because our keep it was a less than, we know it's going to be an and. It's going to create a line segment. Right? So x is less than or equal to 5, greater than or equal to negative 9, line segment. So we know on the outside it's going to be brackets because they're both closed circles, negative 9 to 5. I put them in order from lower to higher, negative 9, 5. Because that's how a number line works. It just makes sense to do it that way. Alright, let's pick one there where there's something on there, or multiple things on the outside. Ooh, that one's good. Alright, so you can write it on the back of your guided notes, or you can write it after you glue in your guided notes. You can add this on in your math Bible. Whatever, however you want to do it. But there are stuff outside of the absolute value bars, so we need to isolate the absolute value bars first. Just like you do with a two-step equation, start with the addition and subtraction. Then get rid of the multiplication or division. Once the absolute value bars are isolated, then you keep it. And you switch.